Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. I'm Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D, and this is going to be DnDaily number 42. 42, that is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, if I recall. And if you don't recognize what that refers to, I'll tell you at the end of the video. So, today, I just want to talk about how hyped I am for our game. I'm wearing my Archon the Cruel shirt. I'm DMing our tabletop game today, and super excited because, well, I'm just excited. I reviewed again the kind of the section that the group is in last night, so I feel even more ready for what may come. And I have no idea what's going to happen because I have no idea what they're going to decide to do. Yet what I'm excited about is like we're jumping right into combat, so that's always fun. And I really enjoy combat. I don't know, for me, the story is critical. I love all the exciting moments, and I also love the low and sweet and scary moments as well. And on some level, for me, I guess I'm a little hack and slash in the sense that a lot of the excitement for me comes out of the moments that occur during combat. Like those harebrained ideas that you have that, you know, just pop off and save the day, or that moment when it's like everyone's down and then, oh my gosh, how are we going to survive this? And somehow you miraculously do. Those are the exciting moments for me. I'll share, I haven't done this before, but I'll share one of my favorite stories from my gaming in playing D&D. So back in high school, we were playing a campaign, and so this was like 25-ish years ago. And we were playing a campaign, and I had created a Paladin, one of my favorite classes to play. However, the typical Paladin was either what we call sword and board, which is a sword and a shield. That's kind of the term, right? Sword and board. Or greatsword. That was like, if you played a Paladin, you either used a greatsword or you used a sword and a shield. That was what a Paladin did. Well, I decided, and I'm certainly not the only one, but I decided at that time, which at that time, to what I had been exposed to, no one else had done it before, I decided I'm going to have my Paladin use a great axe. A big ass two-handed axe that he is going to wield as his weapon, right? His holy weapon. And it was just something new and different. I love trying to find ways to make a character unique. So before I finish that story, let me go back to our... Well, no, let me finish the story. So this is better. So made this character, he's a paladin. This is one of the funniest moments I've ever played in campaigning. I'll come back to the unique characters in just a moment. One of my favorite games of ever in-game were very low-level characters. They were first-level characters, and we're exploring a cave filled with kobolds. And I want to question one of them. So, we didn't have a thief in the party, and, well, I have to open a door. So the party has to open the door. And I'm like, okay, everybody, get out of the way. And then I, just on a whim, say, okay, knock, knock. And I take my big two-handed axe and start hacking down the door. And that became a running gag. And eventually, I named my sword. It became a magical sword. A magical sword called Knock Knock. I named my weapon Knock Knock. Funny name for a weapon, in my opinion. However, that's not even the best part of the story for me. The best part of the story was, we get through a door, and it was either that one or another one. I think it was that one. We get through the door. We opened a door, actually, one that was unlocked. We opened a door, and I'm in the front so I can protect everyone. I open the door, and there's a kobold staring me in the face. So I say to my DM, I'm like, well, hey, I want to try to grab this one and, like, knock his head against the wall so that we can make him unconscious so that we can tie him up and question him. Well, I had, at that time, a very high strength. Back in the day, in 2nd edition and such, you had a percentile dice after your strength if you were super strong. So if you had an 18, in order to show how incredibly strong you were, you had 18 slash from 0-1 up to 0-0, which is 100, right? So from 1 to 100. And this character had something ridiculous like a 99 or 98. I don't think it was actually a 0-0, but it was super high. So I had a high bonus and so forth, and so I roll, and of course I crit. And so my DM Brett, he says, okay, well, so you grab the kobold and you basically turn his head into pulp. And it was just that everybody starts busting out laughing because I squished him like a grape. And it was just this classic moment, and that character, the weapon, that moment of the character, just it set off this great campaign, and we had laughs, and I still remember it to this day, all these years later. So one of the things that I really strive to do when I'm building a character is I try to find something unique, or what I view as being unique. So check this out. In the game that we're playing today, one of the reasons I'm having so much fun with it is because we have a couple classes or characters that I haven't really played extensively with. So we have one which is the Hexblade, or at least that's his intention at level 3, he's going to be Hexblade, right? And we have another that is going to be an Arcane Archer. Right now he's just a fighter with a bow, but he's going to be his intention, the player's intention for this character is that it will become an Arcane Archer. So this will be really cool. So we have an Arcane Archer and a Hexblade in the party. Our third player rounded it out, and none of the players knew what the other was doing beforehand, but it ended up being that the third player, who is my brand new, never played before player, he created a barbarian that fights with a rapier. A dex-based barbarian, which is very uncommon. It is not the typical build for a barbarian. It's very unique, and we decided that he has a background in being like a soldier, I think, or something like this. So we decided that for him, it's not necessarily a rapier as in this long, short, pointy sword a la like Princess Bride or some such. We decided that it's more like a cutlass, like a cavalryman's sword. He wants to be able to sort of slash with it. So we decided it's sort of between a longsword and a rapier, an actual authentic rapier. He'll still get the dexterity bonus with it. That's the idea. I'm giving him essentially a finesse weapon. That's a D8. But we styled it, flavored it as it's like a cutlass. So, super cool stuff, and a cutlass, maybe even more like a saber. Let's call it a saber. That's probably a better way to refer to it. So think a World War II, like General Lee, this kind of sword where it's only about a ½ inch to an inch thick at the most. It's long and thin. It's definitely got a single-edged blade, not double-edged. And you can stab with it just as easily as slash with it, but his primary thing, he's a barbarian, so he's hacking away with it. But it gives him, for whatever benefit, we decided he was more dexterous than strength-based. That's what he wanted to do. So I'm like, yeah, go for it. I'm the DM. We can make things work. And again, it's all about the story. He came up with a really interesting reason and a story, and I'm like, cool, let's go and let's see where it goes. So that's me. That's who I am as a DM. I'm like, that's where for me the story trumps the rules, because it's way more interesting than having a big barbarian with a huge strength and a big double-bladed axe. I mean, that's cool. That's what barbarians are good at, a double two-handed sword. That's what they're good at. Why not? Or even 2 axes. That's kind of fun too, you know, an axe in each hand or something. But it doesn't have to be that way. There's no rule that says it has to be that way. And that's what's great about Dungeons & Dragons and any role-playing game that you might come across, in my opinion, is it is a vehicle for us to express our imaginations and our creativity. And that's what they are doing in this party. So they're all pretty fresh players, like haven't been playing for years and years like myself. And so it's really neat because they have different ideas and different approaches to the game, as everyone does. That's what's so cool about playing with new groups, is that you just never know what how other people play the game. They might play completely differently than your typical group that you've been playing with for years, and it can be fun, fresh, and exciting, and I encourage you to experience that. It might not be the game for you, but at least you'll know, hey, this isn't the game for me, and you can find that one that is the game for you. So be creative, try to find those flavorful, unique ways to approach your character, rather than just the run-of-the-mill, out of the gate, like everybody's done it that way before. Find that unique thread, and I promise you, you will weave an amazing and incredibly interesting story with your friends. And I guess that's it for today's DnDaily. Lots more coming from the channel. Stay tuned. I am so grateful for you guys taking a look at these videos every day. It's a great way for me to express myself, and that's what I'm doing and why I started this. So, thank you for giving me a moment of your time. I will see you at a table someday, and until then, keep rolling 20s.